I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Township of Hamilton Committee, Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. Please stand for the flag salute.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law by posting a notice of this meeting on the bulletin board in the municipal building and by transmitting notice of this meeting to the Press of Atlantic City, the Star Ledger, and the Atlantic County Record on January the 8th, 2025. Mr. Cheek?
Here.
Dr. Nelson?
Here.
Mr. Patali?
Here.
Dr. Witherspoon? Here. Mayor Schenker?
Here. Can we have a moment of silence for private reflection, please? Thank you. Before we get rolling here, I'd like to ask Dan Loveland from the Hamilton Township MUA. Some of you may know we had a little bit of a issue over the weekend, and Dan was nice enough to come in here tonight and give us a little background of what happened and where we're going in the future.
Thank you,
Dan.
Mayor. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dan Loveland, the Executive Director for Hamilton Township MUA. At HTMUA, the customer safety is our top priority. The recent boiler water advisory was issued as an abundance of caution to protect public health. On Friday, we experienced a low-pressure event on our system that lasted for 4 minutes. We immediately took corrective actions. We promptly reported to the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, flushed hydrants in the area. After consulting with the DEP, it was determined that issuing a boil water advisory was the most responsible course of action. With the DEP guidance, we worked quickly to get the word out. We used both the HTMUA notification system and the Township's regroup system, in addition to social media, to reach as many customers as possible. We want to thank the Township as well as Pepsi for their partnership and support through this evolution. The Township stayed close communications with us through the event. They assisted in informing the community. And then together, the MUA and the Township distributed the majority of the 2,000 cases of bottled water donated by Pepsi to residents. The HTMUA has a strong history of providing safe, reliable, and affordable drinking water to our community, and this remains our mission. Moving forward, we've already begun a detailed review of the event. As opportunities for improvement are identified, we will act on them immediately. We ask that all customers make sure their account information is up to date, including a current phone number that can receive text messages if possible. This will help us reach you quickly in the event of an emergency. To close, once again, I want to emphasize public safety is and will be our top priority. The boil water advisory was issued out of an abundance of caution to ensure the safety of our residents. We're committed to learning from this event. Thank you.
Thanks. Does anybody up here have any questions?
Just one. You did a very good job trying to inform the public as much to the best of your ability. But there were still so many people who were not able, just didn't know. What are your plans or in the future so we can have more customers to know exactly what's happening?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Thomas. So that's fair. We looked back at it. I will say the one thing that was a surprise to us was the time that it took to get out some of the messages. So social media got ahead of the other warnings, right? So a little bit of timing there just to make sure folks don't feel like they were surprised. We think there's an opportunity, as I noted, to get more text messages in because that's our quickest and most detailed way to inform customers. So the more customers that can receive a text from us, like the Township, the more informed we can have folks. The other thing is we're going to go back to the old robocall system for those folks who don't have it. And we're trying to figure out how to parse out our customers so we don't annoy them by contacting them both ways. But that's one of the things that we're going to be working on.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Other questions?
We're here to help in any way we can to try and make this system as good as it can be. We have a lot of resources here, so I think if we partner together on this, God forbid it happens again, which we know it won't, we'll be able to get the word out quicker. And I'll be honest with you, beating social media is a very difficult thing to do. So
yeah,
good luck with that. Social media runs the world right now. So thank you, Dan. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
We have a presentation on the landfill development quarterly update. Jeff? Come up, buddy.
If I may?
Please. I never get company.
Before we get started, I handed out packets, which includes a printed copy of the presentation, also an 11 by 17 of our current schedule, dynamic schedule, will change. We'll talk about it in the presentation as well. And then we started with the report each month. DSR is going to give us a monthly report, and so this is only first month of July. So we will have 3 of those in each quarter. We report to committee. Next one being probably December. So let's get started. I gave a similar presentation, although a bit abbreviated, to the Industrial Commission last month. So the agenda for tonight, we're going to discuss the status to date, discuss the set schedule for remediation closure, discuss some details about the solar development that will happen after the closure is complete. And here's the project with the project properties here. 57 being the primary lot. And as you know, we've got the 5812, 5813, 14 that are all impacted by some of the land closures. This is a copy of the grading plans from the approved plans, which have been approved by DEP and Finance Commission. We could have that on the next slide. The Finance Commission required this 100-foot corridor around the site, which you can see is the shaded area around the entire parcels. And the township added in lot 5815 down the bottom to allow for those basins on the bottom right-hand corner there to be moved out of the corridor. They were originally designed along the bottom of the page there. And that made it palatable for the Finance Commission because they got pretty much a 100-foot buffer except over on the west side there where the approach was a bit of an. This is a image from our recent drone flight. I got some better images forward, and then this is a 3D image of what you just saw in the closure plan, what the topography will look like when the project is complete. The schedule: we got our Finance Commission approval on Friday the 13th, which is very apropos, I think, and the solid waste approval June 26th after that, and then our LSRP updated the remedial action work plan with those prior approvals, submitted that on July 15th. Initial mobilization for clearing occurred on the 23rd of July. Our total construction for the landfill closure portion of the project is estimated to be 9 to 12 months. That'll be followed by reporting, some as-built certification, and groundwater monitoring. We've got, as I mentioned many times before, but again, we've got 2 sets of regulations we're following here: the solid waste rules and the site remediation rules. The solid waste rule closure certification will be met first. That's basically when the physical work is done. You know, there's a little bit of growth going on from the seeding, and then we've got subsequent groundwater monitoring after the fact. The groundwater out here is very clean, but there's quarterly groundwater monitoring that happens once the phase is complete. When we get to the schedule, I'll talk about that a little bit. This is an image from August 26th from our drone flight. As you can see, the clearing is moving along very well. You can't really see here in this image, but there are lots of still piles of trees, and there's still a lot of stumps. But all the cutting has been completed as of actually more like the middle of August. So they've been chipping, and now they started in removing stumps from the site. We'll use the drone for periodic monitoring during the project, and once the stumps are out, it'll be an important drone flight. It gives very detailed topography. You compare that to the original as-built or existing conditions plan and the design, see if there's any variation there on elevation and where material needs to be moved, etc. So that's an important
engineering oversight. The next task, which are in the process of being planned and implemented shortly, is implementation of the silt fence around the initial soil and sediment controls and a site perimeter fencing. Fencing is going to be on the inside of the corridor. That way, you're not accidentally going into the corridor and disturbing it. We figured that was better for the commission. And then, at least we will not be taking the corridor from any of our activities. This is the same image, but overlaid here are some of the key components for of the landfill. You can see the perimeter. The blue is the basins. The yellow is the roads around, and the green is basically, I think, part of the limited disturbance, which overlaps with the fence line. And this image, same, but has the conceptual layout of the solar panels. Again, the same image. The next page, and I know this will be a little bit difficult for the public to see here, but this is our schedule. As you remember, we added a time schedule, basically a number of months to the mediation agreement. This is actually with dates on here of what's happened and where we are to date, the line being today, yesterday, for that matter. And we are proceeding with that, as you can see, the silt fence and the security fence are the next steps, and we move to implement those shortly. This is what I was talking about before, again, for the public's benefit, because it's a little to see. You can see these, where that line drops way down, and there's the two blue at the bottom. That's effectively the completion of the solid waste components of the project, which is now projected to be around July of next year. So for 12 months. And that's the certification, and get the certification. And then you can see the other red lines that go on like that. That's the groundwater monitoring and the reporting for the site remediation. And then our last task is that the developer would take title and move forward. Somewhere in between where that line drops down, we meet the solid waste component, and we get the conclusive site remediation, the solar construction will start. And that's a segue to my discussion about the solar project components, which is the fun stuff. Moving dirt around, making basins. Anyway, but so back to the same image here with the solar layout. A solar developer, CS Energy, will be applying for their own approval, so they have to get a private, as you guys probably all know, Highlands Commission development application approval. We've already done, as I mentioned before, the stormwater work, including their panels and their ballasts and everything. So hopefully that'll be a smoother review for the commission, staff, and they will be coming in for a full site plan application of the township, just like any other construction project. All the appropriate folks in the township, and planning board, land use board, and professionals along the public. And I'm sure some of this detail here is, again, is concept on the panel. They'll have change. They'll have it in the connection points. They'll have it, they'll have it over here and concrete pads. So the concept of the solar right now, based on initial interconnection applications with Atlantic City Electric, is a 7.5 megawatt total project, and that'll be broken into two components. There'll be 2 points of interconnection, which I'll get to in the next slide. Solar project will provide a nice benefit to the township. As I mentioned this last time, there'll be 2 community solar projects. Community solar projects have a limit of 5 megawatts. So using these numbers, one will be 5 megawatts, one will be 2. Good stuff. Talking about the points of interconnection, but I'll skip to the bottom here where you can see that it'll provide a savings. The savings on the community solar program, is a minimum of 25%. So we anticipate a $32.81 monthly savings, yearly savings per household, just under $400, and a cumulative over the course of 20 years of all of the households, which is 1,200 households. This project. The details of how you sign up for that, I'm not sure. I've talked to our developer, and it's basically through the BPU and/or the developer or the owner of the solar project. There's a sign-up process. Not talk about that. You'll see here 2 points of interconnection. We're working with Mr. Knoll and Solicitor Warren here on easements for those interconnections. Those easements are important to the solar developer when they go in for these community solar interconnections. And there's a little bit more detail on that. But one of the projects will come out in Guaqua. The other will go out to all the way out to 40 up 19th Street. According to the solar developer's surveyor, you guys actually own 19th Street. So that makes it a little bit easier to process. And we're going to be working here with Mr. Warren, I'm sure. Mr. Morrow, how to make that happen. I'm sure come back to you with detail and probably some action. This is the one I presented this to the Industrial Commission. This comes over on their parcel there. You'll see the T on the side along the roadway. That's just because they're not sure which pole they're going to want to connect to. Right? So Mr. Warren's asked for meets and bounds, which we'll have that on here. We're working on that, and we'll work through that. Those are some of the things that we're going to be working on from additional process. So I have, you guys have my contact information, that's there. There are 2 resolutions on the agenda tonight, which you approved the application for that last supplemental CSRF application. These are the resolutions to put in the actual grant document contract to put those in place, which I discussed a little bit with both administrator and clerk. And I will stay and answer any questions.
Thank you. Committee, have any questions?
I just have one question. Atlantic Electric has had some issues with the grid in the past.
Decades.
Yeah, yes. So how would that affect this project? Have they made any improvements? Because a lot of people wanted to sign up for solar energy, but Atlantic Electric couldn't handle it.
Yeah. So that's what I mentioned very briefly, but the solar developers have submitted initial interconnection applications. And they got this up to a little bit more, actually, than 7.5 megawatts. The 2 connections on those circuits, they call them on the grid. That's why they're going to the 2 locations. So those are, and they refiled those again, and actually it came out with a little bit more capacity. So it's there, which I was pleasantly surprised because of the same concern you had. And you're right, there must have been improvements since we looked at this a bunch of years ago initially. We're working on at least the substations. Maybe the grid, I don't know. There is capacity.
Because of the 7.5 watts. I did see that, but I had to ask the question.
No, I appreciate it, and you're right. It's been an issue and will continue to be because fixing the whole grid throughout South Jersey is a job.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions?
You gave us 2 schedules in your packet tonight. Are they the same?
They are.
Okay, we haven't had a chance to look at it.
The 2 pages was just to make it easier to see on the screen.
Okay. And then are they the same schedule as we agreed upon earlier in the redevelopment agreement?
Yeah, except they have actual dates in them.
Well, before we couldn't have the
Right,
dates.
just
Now you
say
have the dates.
1 month, 1 quarter,
Mhm.
without it.
And then you
Yeah,
have, okay.
From our start date of July, I guess it was 700, some number of days. We'll be in there way ahead of that. I should also update you because I mentioned it last time. I forgot. The ruling or the evaluation from the Secretary of the Treasury's Department on the sunsetting of the investment tax credit came out favorably. So the solar developer can start the project by spending money on site or off site. And the example they gave me, they can order the ballasts in,
Mhm.
say, next month. They would have 4 years from that time to complete. So we have time.
Then on page 3 of your handout, it's a typo, or not a typo, typographical. We can't read it. I did a site visit after the trees were down, before the stumps were starting to get removed, and it's very, very uneven property. I was
Oh, yeah.
amazed how bad it was. And that, all that'll be leveled off
Yeah,
to the site plan for the solar panels. I mean, there's elevation changes,
Oh, it's-
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's I'd say mountains.
Yeah, it was shocking to look at it. Somebody left it like that.
First
Yeah.
time I saw it, I had the same reaction. Whoa.
Yeah, I was there. The trees were cleared, and whoa, man.
My guys were, particularly along the, over here on these lots, I didn't realize that was all pretty.
Yeah. Now, just out of curiosity, when you go to say level that site, do you have to? I mean, you're going to hit trash, I'm sure.
Well, they're not necessarily gonna level it, we're actually gonna construct the basins outside the area of the trash
Mhm.
and move that material on top. So
On
we're
top,
actually gonna
okay.
Build it up, and so the lower parts, the valleys would be filled in, and you just gotta make sure there's 2 feet on top of the other.
Okay, that's what I was asking, because if you go to level it, you know you're going to hit
Right.
garbage, and then you have to fill on top of it.
Yeah, they
And
are.
the basins are enough to give you the 2 foot.
According to the engineering calculation.
Boy, oh boy, God bless you.
And the contractor, and that's why the drone flying is important. The other component of that is that I have to go back and look at the detail. I don't know this, this may not be completely accurate. But some of the higher points, there's much more than 2 feet of sand
fill?
on top of the trash. And some of those higher points. We did the borings, way back when through each one, and how much material is on top until you actually get to the waste. So there is some leveling that will do
Yeah.
initial grading to not disturb the waste, and then from there, if there are points, we'll make sure there's at least 2 feet back on top. And then it's graded such that stormwater will behave appropriately, and it's suitable for the panels.
And you don't have to truck anything in, that you're good to go?
We're bringing in topsoil.
Okay.
We have 25,000 tons
Mm-hmm.
yards. And there's a little bit of there's about a 7. This sounds like a lot. It is a lot. 7 to 15 discrepancy between the engineer and the contractor on exactly what the contractor is extra from the basin. Keeping in mind for the stormwater regulations here, we have 24 stormwater. Swales, and they go into the basin. So those are depressed from current elevation. Will generate some amount of material.
When you first pull up to the site, it looks like you already have a swale on the left-hand side.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I agree. It was surprising. When I started doing it.
Any other questions? Jeff?
I just have one quick question. What is the mechanism in place for inspection of the improvements? Because you've got a certain clearing limit you have to stay within, you have to have your soil erosion sediment control procedures, and then construction of the basins. To date, our office hasn't been involved, but I mean, typically with a site plan, developer posts an escrow, and then our office inspects to make sure it's in conformance with the approved plans. We've had no involvement to date with that. So maybe I'll talk to the administrator, but I mean, typically someone inspects the improvements.
The soil district will be out to inspect that component.
We,
And
yeah.
the solid waste.
No, the Cape Atlantic will inspect the soil erosion sediment control measures, but for the stormwater basins, I'll discuss it with Mr.
Jeff, thank you very much. Appreciate your update. Moving right along. All right, let's move along. We have additions, deletions to late agenda items to be considered for action tonight. We have a deletion of 12A, ACUA Solid Waste and Recycling Contract Negotiations. That was going to be part of our executive session. We're looking to remove it. Committee?
So moved.
We have a motion. We have a second. Are there any questions or comments?
Just one question.
Go ahead.
Why are we removing this? Because it's time for us to negotiate.
I haven't gotten the final numbers back from ACOA yet. Can't
Okay,
have an active conversation.
that's fair. Thank you.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Number 2, early public comment on agenda items excluding items listed for public hearings. Brett?
We have no one signed up, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Number 3, discussions, formal action may be taken. A is Mays Landing Bikeway, funding agreement for design engineering and authorization to proceed by resolution.
Motion?
Second. Let me go ahead and you want no discussion?
Yeah, well, it needs to be, I wanted to hear a little bit about.
Brett, can you give everybody an overview of what's happening here?
Sure. We received $1.5 million from the DOT set-aside program to reconstruct the trestle. We're going to do a bridge around the existing ruins from the east side to the west side. The engineer that we appointed, GPI, has come up with a design proposal which they submitted to the DOT for approval. The design was approved by DOT, as well as the proposal that they submitted for funding for their design work. And that's what's on your plate tonight is a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign that agreement.
So they can start with the trestle.
Start with the design.
The design of it.
Start design.
The design of it. Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
Rich,
I'm fine.
you have a motion?
Motion?
Second. We have a motion, we have a second. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, we just need a voice vote. Yeah. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Excuse me. B, lease agreement between the Township of Hamilton and Hamilton Township Board of Education for municipal parking lot located on 2nd Street and Farragut Avenue. Block 801, lots 13 and 17. You want to give a little background, Brett?
Yes, so I was approached by the business administrator of the Hamilton Township School requesting use of the 2nd Street parking lot. They indicated that they wanted to make improvements to the parking lot, lighting, asphalt, striping. That's a little bit above and beyond just using the parking lot. Ken and their attorney drafted a lease agreement which would enable them to use the lot, upgrade the lot. In turn, they'll be responsible for maintenance, snow removal, things like that. Anything, cutting the grass around the lot, and that's what's in front of you now. I have an updated version, which
Okay.
added the snow removal and
Yep.
the term for the snow removal.
Very good.
I do like the updated agreement better than the first one that we read. I just have one question on 5. It says that the landlord, which would be us, or we would have to approve anything that's going to be done, or they just got carte blanche to do it.
Dr. Witherspoon, us being the landlord would approve any alterations or upgrades, so they just written or ask for written consent.
So I won't ride by and see them doing anything that we didn't approve.
Not without our approval.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
It's important to note too that the township will still have use of the parking lot after hours for things like the Halloween parade or any events at Main Street or Memorial Park.
And on the weekends as well.
That's good.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
A motion to move the resolution. Any questions, concerns? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. We'll move on to C. Hello High, renewal of cannabis license. This is a resolution conditionally reviewing the Class 5 cannabis license, retail license. Rich?
Step out.
See you in a little bit. I don't know if there's any discussion. As far as I understand, they don't have any incidents or any problems. We've talked about this a little bit.
I checked with the police department and code enforcement. There were no calls, business-related calls out in that area.
Okay, very good. Committee, what's your pleasure?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. We'll move on to D, which also has to do with Hello High. They have a presentation that they're going to give. Proposed site-specific redevelopment plan for cannabis project for drive-through project service. Where's you? Yeah, just state your name, let everybody know who you are. We know where you're from,
Give me the table.
whichever makes you more comfortable.
Company twice.
There you go. Just slide the mic over so everyone can hear him. We try to keep people away from him. As you can see, he gets out of hand once in a while.
I think I can handle myself. Adam Siegel with Hello High. Nice to see everybody. There we go. So we this year we decided that we wanted to look into adding a drive-through, and there's a lot of different reasons that we would like to go over today to not only help out the business but also help out our customers. We have a number of customers that have limited mobility. A lot of people that are wheelchair bound, people who use canes. A lot of customers come in, they require seating once they get into the building, and we feel like a drive-through would actually help out a lot of those customers. We do see a significant drop in business whenever there are poor weather conditions. We think that a drive-through will help keep business up to normal capacity during those days where they would be able to pre-order and pick up and not have to get out of their vehicle. It is a convenience factor for a lot of people as well. We drive down the street and see a McDonald's. Most of the people are in the drive-through. They're not actually walking into the building. And this will also help with faster service time for our customers. We do have a very fast tack time. The average time is under 5 minutes from people when they enter the building to when they leave the building. Our redevelopment plan, one of the big caveats to that is that we attempt to try to make people's time on site as little as possible, and we think that this will actually help facilitate that. So a lot of our customers are in the age demographic, they skew over 55 and older. And as I'm getting older, I realize that my knees aren't what they used to be, but this will help a lot of those people that do have a little bit more trouble getting around. We do have people that, again, like I said, that are wheelchair bound and they use canes to get around. We have a couple customers that are actually severely disabled where they have motorized wheelchairs that they are not able to get out without the help of an attendant. This will help them where they don't even have to leave their vehicle. Weather conditions we already mentioned. Formatting's bad on that, I apologize. There are more dispensaries in New Jersey opening drive-throughs, and we also feel like this is going to help us maintain business in our township. There are some in neighboring townships. I believe Winslow is going to be opening one within the next few months, which is right down the road from us, that if they are allowed to open a drive-through and we weren't able to, that would definitely pull business and tax dollar revenue from Hamilton Township. We do notice that Black Horse Pike, where we're located, is a very transient area, that people that are driving through, this might entice them to actually put an order in and stop by to pick that up on their way through town. It's not just for the people that live here, but it'll bring tax dollars from other areas. Again, this will bring faster service times. They'll be able to have their orders faster. There's no more time wasted parking and coming into the store, so they will get in and get out a lot faster, which means a lot less time being on site. So I'm going to show you our proposed site plan after this. Just a couple notes. The change of direction right now is from clockwise to counterclockwise. This change would be needed just so that we can put the driver on the side of the building the way that they're coming around. The painting of the arrows and the carve-outs are going to appear in the black area. Everything else is gray. Everything in gray is our previous site plan. And we'll be adding new signs for safety and notice for our customers. So if you can see here, the arrows towards the top and on the left side will all be going in the counterclockwise location. There'll be added striping to the upper right-hand corner to encourage people to make that left-hand turn when they're doing the drive-through. There is plenty of space there for cars to get through, so if we do have employees back there or deliveries for any reason, there'll be enough room for the drive-through and other traffic to travel through. Same goes on the left-hand side, and nothing else would be changing in the parking lot. There is signage on the left side that will say "Do not enter" now, which will be flipped from the other side. And there'll be drive-through signs pasted at the bottom right-hand corner of the parking lot just to notify the customers as they enter the parking lot which direction to go. We have some preliminary drawings. They're not finalized drawings, so take this with a grain of salt, please. So we're going to be converting a little bit of office space in the back right corner of the building if you're looking at it from the top down. This is the only location that it could be in the building, and it allows for us to have a simple internal process as well. This is our overview of the building if you're looking top down, where the front doors are on the bottom side of the display there. The project area is in the back right corner. At the moment, it's just some storage and office space, and we do have some security consoles back there where we can watch the footage there. That'll maintain. It shouldn't cause a problem, but the storage area has been moved out of that area at this point. Zooming in, you can see that that's where the window will be on that back wall in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. So any construction we would do would be minimal. It'll just include the knocking out of where the window will be placed into that area so that our customers will be able to drive up efficiently. We are planning on doing curbing, and we will have some meetings in the next coming weeks to discuss whether we'll need curbing or bollards. We're hoping that we have curbing just because of the flow of the traffic there and the spacing. It would make more sense, at least as far as we're concerned. The exterior view of the wall, just literally putting in a drive-through window. To the right of that is an exit from the building. We're going to put up a mirror just so that anybody can see anybody that needs to pass through it all there. But there's enough spacing that we already deal with deliveries from our vendors in that area, so it's our employees are used to that, and anybody that drives back there it's pretty well marked, so it should be okay. Just another drawing of the actual window on how it's going to look. We're going to use a drawer method, similar to what you might see at a pharmacy. We didn't want to have like an open window because for safety reasons we'd want to limit contact with our employees with the customers. So this will also help us pass through anything that we need to with very limited contact. So just want to discuss some of the safety and some other issues that might be of concern. So we're going to use shatter-resistant glass. Like I said, the drawer is drawer access only. There's no direct access between our customers and our employees. It will lock from the inside and be secure, so nobody will be able to break through there. There'll be a security shade at the end of the night that we can draw down so that it will also give a little bit more, a little less view and access to that area if somebody were to try anything. And we will be installing either curbs or bollards depending on what the final decision would be made. We will have additional drive-through surveillance and monitoring. We already have armed guards on site, and they always are constantly monitoring the cameras. We also have off-site monitoring, so to deal with any type of security issues, alarm issues, anything like that. The current cameras that we currently have, we think would be enough, but we're going to add additional cameras just for safety issues and monitoring issues. And the parking lot overhead lighting literally lights that area right where it is. There is a pole that's probably about 40 feet away, and it has overhead lighting. We feel like that would be enough in the evening. There is a panic alarm already in that room for our employees, so if anything were to happen, they have immediate access to pull that panic alarm. And we also have motion sensors already in that room, so if anybody were to figure out how to break in, it would set off the motion sensors after hours. We would immediately be notified, and so would the police. Process regulations and compliance. All transactions will comply with local and state laws. All orders will end up having to be pre-orders. The state does not allow us to have just an open drive-through where you come up and place an order. You actually have to place that online ahead of time. All local and CRC approvals on the build-out operations and SOPs. So we will go through the local process first, and then we have to submit to the state after the township approves anything that we're going to do. They then will review that for their rules and regulations, and if they need something to be more strict, we would come back to the township and advise you at that point. I don't see any issues with that, but we'll see. ID must be checked twice per state regulations. This is on every order, so typically how that works is if somebody's coming in the building, we check it at the door and then at the time of their order. We will be doing it digitally for the first check on a drive-through order. Somebody has to submit a copy of their license when they place their order online, and then when they get there, we have to check it again at the window. The rules and regulations that customers need to be aware of, as well as our hours, will be displayed on the window just for their convenience and for their information. Like I said, all orders have to be pre-ordered. No orders can be placed at the window. If we do have customers that drive up to the window, they'll be asked to go either pull around and come into the building or go find a parking spot and place their order. All customers are notified once their order is placed that it's ready for pickup. The only orders that will be able to go through the drive-thru, like I said, will be pre-picked. And again, they'll be notified, so there won't be a line waiting for their order, and they'll be notified at their time of order that they'll be notified once it is picked. But to be honest with you, that usually takes between 5 to 10 minutes from when somebody actually places their order to when it's ready to go for them. We've tried to create a pretty efficient process. All unclaimed orders will be restocked at the end of the night. No product will be permitted in the area after hours. That's a state regulation. All of our product that's pre-picked or that's on the floor at any given time has to be put and locked in the vault at the end of the night. So we'll make sure that there's no reason for anybody to try to enter through that, and it will deter them from trying to commit any crimes. Just going over some of our statistics, we don't see this to be a major uptick in traffic. This is just us trying to maintain things and also provide something for convenience. We think that most of the orders that we're going to receive are already current customers, that you're going to see people shifting from our pre-order pickup to just a pre-order drive-through. So it's more of a convenience for them not to have to get out of the car. And the reason for that is anybody that's driving past can't just pull into the drive-through and get their product. They have to plan this out ahead of time. They have to place an order already in order to come pick that up. That being said, we would welcome new business. So just in summary, the drive-through will assist customers who need it the most. We're going to see, we're not expecting a lot of extra traffic. Conversion of the pickups is most likely. And this will also help Hello High just maintain its competitive balance with other dispensaries that are local to us in other townships. So, any questions you'd like to go over?
Anybody up here have any questions?
I have a question.
Bella?
Yes. Now, I understand the concept of the drive-thru. That's clear. But it doesn't appear to me that the site is actually completed in the renderings. Is it everything is all? It's on the second page. It says we're going to authorize the Township Plan of Palestina Associates to draft a site-specific redevelopment plan.
Right.
So the plan is not completed.
So at the moment,
There's different pieces of the plan.
right. So we
But-
currently have our current redevelopment agreement that's in process or in action that we have for our current dispensary. In order to go into this, and we have a representative from Mally Givens, I believe.
Right, because it didn't say how much space you were going to need. You know, you got to knock something out.
The only thing that we'll be doing is we'll be cutting out a cutout on the wall and putting in a window. We're not changing anything else about the footprint of the building or the parking lot area.
But it's not completed. So what are we voting for tonight? Are we voting for the site plan to be
So we have to
going up?
We have to be able to do this. Go ahead,
Well,
sorry.
so if I can, Erin Simone with Mally Givens, we're your redevelopment council. So if you are inclined to agree that a drive-through is an appropriate addition to this particular site. What you'll be approving is a site-specific redevelopment plan that would allow drive-throughs at this site. And so what it would do is start the process over. So it would be considered an overlay zoning that allowed a drive-through, and that in order to use that zoning, that overlay zoning, they would have to enter into a new redevelopment agreement. If for whatever reason their current project is not done, although I think my understanding is it is constructed, but if it's considered not done, they can either amend the existing redevelopment agreement that they have in order to use it, or we can do a brand new redevelopment agreement. But the first step is to decide, is this something you're interested in having at the site? And if it is, then there would be a site-specific redevelopment plan that would allow for the zoning to be put in place to allow that. And again, that would be an overlay zoning that would require a redevelopment agreement in order to use it.
That's not what this says on the first page. I do understand the amendment of the agreement to have a drive-through.
So drive-throughs are not permitted under your existing redevelopment plan.
Correct.
And so in order to allow for the drive-through, you either have to amend your entire redevelopment plan, which means any cannabis project would be able to use a drive-through, or you can amend this, or you can create a site-specific redevelopment plan that would allow a drive-through at this particular location.
How do we pick and choose if another cannabis people want to come up and want to drive through?
So, again, being that you're in a redevelopment area, or rehabilitation area technically, but if they presented and you thought that this particular site was suitable for a drive-through, you could do another site-specific redevelopment plan. Or if you find that drive-throughs are generally acceptable for cannabis operations or certain types of cannabis operations, then you could amend your redevelopment, your overall redevelopment plan and the cannabis component of that. It's really up to you, but.
What is your recommendation? You're a lawyer.
So my recommendation would be to do the site-specific, because maybe not every site is appropriate for a drive-through. If you were going to do something more as a generic permission, then you might want to do it more of a conditional, add conditions for when you use a drive-through, but for ease of application, a site-specific would be appropriate.
So you want us to approve something that has not been specifically done yet?
I don't think we're approving.
You're not approving it. All you're doing is authorizing a plan to be prepared. You're not even adopting the plan at this point. So if you decide to, the plan's prepared and you don't like it, you don't adopt it. Or if you don't want drive-throughs at all, that's your prerogative too. So it's really up to you. If you think a drive-through might be appropriate, then you could go ahead and ask for or authorize the preparation of the plan. If not, then you vote no.
I'm not against a drive-through. My question, and I'm finished when I say this, is that to draft a site-specific redevelopment. Right. So we're not. You want us to approve the drive-through.
So what you would be approving is a plan to be prepared that would allow a drive-through.
Okay, that's what I wanted to say.
This will come back to us.
Absolutely. You're not approving anything as far as the actual drive-through tonight.
No, I understand that, Mayor. It's just that that's not what was stated on the front sheet.
Sorry.
On the front sheet, it just says resolution authorizing amendment to redevelopment plan for a site-specific allowance for a drive-through.
All right. So just to be clear, it's not an amendment to the existing plan. It's a brand new plan.
That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't understand your question, but yeah, it's a brand new plan. It would be specific to this site.
It's a brand new plan. It's not an amendment.
It would not be an amendment to your existing plan, no.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Should the resolution say that?
It does.
Does, for a second?
Yes, the resolution does say it's just authorizing Palestina's office to draft. You guys would be authorizing him to draft a site-specific plan for this drive-through.
That's on page 2.
Yeah. And just so you understand the process, once the plan is prepared, you would introduce an ordinance. If you find the plan acceptable, you would introduce an ordinance, then the plan would get sent over to the planning board for their review, and then would come back for you for adoption of the final ordinance. So the plan would not be in place until.
Is
It
there
was
still an
adopted by
escrow
us.
account here?
Thank you.
All right. When I first heard of this, I was kind of like, why are you doing this? And you kind of cleared it up for me, and I didn't realize it makes sense because a lot of people are using medical marijuana that have issues, and there's no ability for them not to get out. They have to get out and go in because they can't buy it for somebody else. So this works. I understand it now. So thank you for clearing that up. Anybody else have any questions? We do have a resolution. What's your pleasure?
I'd like to move the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Do we do roll call? Yeah. Rita, if you would, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Cheek?
What do you think,
Dr.
Rich?
Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Mr. Vitale?
Yes.
Dr. Witherspoon?
I don't like the word amendment.
Pardon me?
The word amendment to the redevelopment, I don't like that on the front page. But she said it's not an amendment.
It is not amendment. Your resolution that is before you basically reads, be it resolved that the Township Committee of the Township of Hamilton to authorize the Township Planner, Palestine Associates, to draft a site-specific redevelopment plan for Hello High Dispensary, 7685 Black Horse Pike, Hamilton, New Jersey, 08337, Block 42, Lot 3. So it's not an amendment. The
All right,
resolution is not authorized.
I can go by page 2. I was just talking about
Okay.
what was on page 1.
Okay, yeah. So just so you know, it's not authorizing an amendment.
All right, so this is page, this is the one we should be going with. Then
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, the actual resolution.
Okay, yes.
Mayor Shanker?
Yes.
All yes and carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. See you guys soon.
Yes.
Are we
Yeah.
okay to go get him now?
Thank you, Rita.
The first ordinance is in referencing cannabis.
Is it? Oh, never
That's what I
mind.
wasn't sure
Never
about.
mind. I'm sorry.
I wasn't sure.
Okay, so we'll move on. Number 4 is public hearing and adoption of ordinances. A is ordinance 2112, 2025, an ordinance in the Township of Hamilton, County of Atlantic, and State of New Jersey, amending an ordinance 1964-2021 for codification purposes only. Would you give us a little, for people who weren't here and don't know what we're,
Yes, Mayor. We briefly discussed this at the last meeting. If the governing body recalls, Ordinance 1964-2021 was previously adopted by the governing body back in 2021. As we were going through some of the processes for last meeting, it was brought to our attention that the codification process, which is the process where we take the ordinance that we code, wasn't completed for this ordinance. And because of the lapse in time of codification, the numbering of the prior ordinance was off the code. So all this does is update the numbering. There's
Right.
no language verbatim by the prior ordinance, but so that it can be codified properly, we are putting it through the ordinance process for that specific reason.
okay, so it's more housekeeping than anything else.
Exactly, it's procedural.
Okay, thank you. This is a public hearing. Anybody in the public like to speak?
Move to close public.
A motion second to close public portion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Adoption of this ordinance.
So moved.
We have a
Second.
motion, we have a second. Any questions? Concerns? Rita, could we do a roll call vote for this, please?
Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Mr. Vitale?
Yes.
Dr. Witherspoon?
Yes.
Mayor Shanker?
Yes,
All yes and adopted.
thank you. Rita, if you don't mind, thank you. Welcome back, Rich.
Thank you.
We're going to move to We're going to move to letter B, ordinance 2113, 2025, an ordinance of the Township of Hamilton, County of Atlantic, and the State of New Jersey, authorizing the acceptance of a deed dedication from the Horizons of Wood Landing Homeowners Association. This is a public hearing. Anybody in the public like to speak?
Move to close public?
Second.
Almost too late. We're on a tight ship here.
Thank you, Mayor. For the record, Randolph Lafferty, 155 Lawful Court in Mays Landing. I'm a member of the community. I'm also a member of the executive board. We would like to expressly recognize the work of the mayor and the committee and the township attorney, Mr. Warren, in facilitating this process in conjunction with the township engineer and the MUA. This has been a community that has had its challenges, as you know, over the past 20 years, and we're finally getting to the final stages. The ordinance tonight dedicates the roads in phases 1 through 4, and I understand that all of the necessary sign-offs and approvals have been granted. We had some relatively minor issues, developer issues, in phase 5, which are being addressed or have been addressed, and you'll have another ordinance very shortly, we hope, to facilitate that. But I know that Mr. Warren worked diligently with our counsel, Hill Wallach, and again, it's an example of where government can facilitate an improvement in a community rather than what many people perceive, which is government creating obstructions. In this case, nothing could be further from the truth, and we wanted, as a community, to recognize the efforts of everyone involved. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Anyone else in the public like to speak? Yes, sir. See what you started, Randy?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Mayor and Council. My name is Brian Heffron. I'm also a resident of Woods Landing, and over the past perhaps 2.5 years or so, I was a previous board member. I stepped down in December of 22. At that time, the new board that came on asked myself and the previous president, Ralph Brownlee, who unfortunately has passed away, and Paul Roush, who many of you might know. Paul Roush, he recently passed away about 4 months ago, to head up a transition committee to deal with Fernmore Homes and between the township and Fernmore Homes and so on and so forth. And I just want to thank everybody for the cooperation we've had. I know, Mr. Warren, you've been dealing with our attorney, George Greatrix, and Brett. I've been on the phone with you several times. I know Bob, we've become like brothers the past 2.5 years, dealing with all the issues that have come up between us and Fernmore and so on and so forth. So I want to thank everybody, Mayor, Council, everybody, for all their help and assistance in getting us to this point. And
It's been a long
we're
process.
very close to the finish line. Thank you
we are
very
very
much.
close. Thank you. Anyone else?
I already got shot down once. I'm not doing that again. Yeah.
I'll motion.
Motion to close.
Okay.
A
Second.
motion to close, the second. You're very sensitive.
Yeah.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The chair will entertain an adoption of this ordinance.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any questions or comments? Rita, can we have a roll call vote for this, please?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All that work, it seems a little anticlimactic, right? We have no introductions of ordinances. We are going to move on to awards of bids, contracts, and change orders. A is a resolution to award the second-year option for bid 23-11, snow plowing for Warner's Construction Incorporated, Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, for the period of 10/1/25 to 4/30/26, amount not to exceed $50,000.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none. Rita, can we go to roll call vote for this, please?
Yes.
Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Witherspoon?
Yes.
Mayor Schenker?
Yes. B, resolution to award a contract to HIP Renewal LLC for remedial action for Hamilton Township landfill site pursuant to a grant awarded by the Hazardous Discharge Site Remediation Fund and the New Jersey Economic Development Authority for the total amount up to $1,774,355.55.
So moved.
Mayor, if
Mr.
I may
Mayor,
address
yeah.
this, I believe there's a note that this
Yep.
has to be done out of order. consent agenda.
Okay. So I got to come back to this?
Correct, if you may. Thank you.
Read that again.
Not happy about that. And so we'll move on to the consent agenda. We have items A through J.
Have to take one out.
So moved.
I motion to take J out.
Okay. Well,
Or
that's
no,
the
I'm
one-
sorry.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no,
I'm
we-
wrong.
Yeah, we have
I'm
to do
sorry.
that.
Yes.
Okay. Tom, I'm going with your motion.
From the Zoom.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it.
Now we can do 6.
Now we get to go back. Resolution to award contract to HIP Renewal LLC for the remedial action for the Hamilton Township landfill site pursuant to a grant awarded by the Hazardous Discharge Site Remediation Fund and the New Jersey Economic Development Authority for a total amount up to $1,774,355.55.
Did you repeat
So
that?
moved.
No.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any questions, comments?
I missed the motion. Was that Rich? Were you-
No.
Thelma.
Thelma.
Oh,
Thelma.
I
Thelma
didn't
and
hear you.
Carl.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Rita, can we do a roll call for this, please?
Mr. Cheek?
Yes.
Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Mr. Vitale?
Yes.
Dr. Witherspoon?
Yes.
Mayor Schenker?
Yes.
Yes,
Let's move on. 8, there's personnel. We have none. Approvals, minutes, regular meeting minutes of August 18th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I will abstain. B, minutes, executive session meeting minutes, August 18th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Rita, can we do a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Cheek?
Yes.
Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Vitale?
Yes.
Dr. Witherspoon?
Yes.
Mayor Schenker?
Abstain.
4 yes, 1 abstention. Motion
Thank you. Bills, bill list total, $5,222,712.86.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Rita, can we do a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Cheek?
Yes.
Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Vitale?
Yes.
Dr. Witherspoon?
Yes.
Mayor Schenker?
Yes. Thank you. Reports, Mr. Administrator. Okay. Mr. Solicitor,
Nothing to report this time, Mayor, thank you.
Mr. Engineer. Perfect. Township Committee members, Dr. Witherspoon.
Yes, I would like to report that I attended the expungement clinic on August the 20th. That was done by the New Jersey Office of Public Defender's Office, and it was done in Mays Landing. We had 80 people who showed up for the expungement clinic, and it was a very good look for us here in Hamilton Township. I was really happy about it because most of the times when I've seen this, it's only been done in urban environments in Lang City and Pleasantville. So it was a good thing to be done here in the Township. On the 27th, I attended back to school supplies at Oak Crest, which was done by A Wish, and they had clothes and products that any family would need in order to have a successful school year. It was a great job, and it was a very nice event, well attended. And I would also like to say that on Sunday, it was well organized with the issues that we had with the crisis with the water. And just to see Hamilton Township in action, along with the MUA, Hamilton Township MUA, I thought it was a great deal. I mean, a great thing. It was very professionally done. The workers were there. The administrators were there. Committee was there. You know, everybody was there trying to make sure that everybody in the township was being taken care of. So I thought it was a good job. It was my first crisis. So since I've been on the township, but I thought it was handled very, very well. That's my report.
Very good. Deputy Mayor.
Feedback on the MUA crisis. So, of course, whenever something like this happens, afterwards you do a debriefing and you have some meetings and figure out what happened, what we may have done wrong, what we did right, and what we can do better. I know the MUA staff had a meeting today. I'm sure we'll have something, between our police department and the liaisons for the MUA and figure out, what could have been done better. But just like Dr. Witherspoon said, on Sunday, watching everybody come together and, we said to come get your water at 9 o'clock. By 5 after 8, I think there were people there, and we didn't say wait. We just started giving them water. And it was a pretty steady flow almost all day until we got the good news that the water was all good. So everything went as well as could go in a crisis like that. So kudos to everybody. I know phone calls were made on Saturday trying to track down water. I think that was our chief was tasked with that. And before you knew it, a phone call to Pepsi pretty much ended everything after that. Pepsi said, we'll give you 2,000 cases, no charge. So that took care of that. And so kudos to Pepsi for doing that. Kudos to I think it was Walmart, Target, BJ's. They all said, we have this much. We're going to put it off to the side for you if you need it. So the community came together. The businesses came together. It was all a good thing. And then yesterday we had a terrible fire over at Tavistock. 2 houses, I believe, were totally lost. 2 other houses were damaged. So there's 2 families who pretty much lost everything. Our fire departments, all 4 of our companies were there. Our police department, rescue squad. I believe I saw Forest Fire was there. Cardiff and Bargaintown, Chief. I think it was Cardiff and Bargaintown. So there's Carver Township coming in and helping us out. When something bad happens, you look for the helpers, and we have a lot of helpers here because all those fire companies are all volunteers, with the exception of Forest Fire. But that guy, I'm betting, is probably a volunteer. So good job to everybody with that. And I haven't heard anything about anybody coming out to ask for any help with them. But if I hear something, I'll put it out on social media. If anybody can spare anything to help these families. That time of year, school. So please, everybody, pay attention. Kids are going to be out at the bus stops. Remember, you're supposed to stop when you see a bus flashing red lights. Just be safe out there. Take care of our kids. And boat races this weekend coming up, Saturday and Sunday at the Cove, Lake Lenape. You can see them at the Cove. Another good spot is over at Lake Lenape West. There'll be food trucks there, so please come down, support this. It's supported by so many businesses in town, giving sponsorships, so please come down, help us out. and let's try to build this up every year. It seems to get a little bit bigger. So hopefully same thing happens again this year when we get a little bit bigger. And that's really all I have. Reagan, I'll see you later. Maddie, I miss you and I love you and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Committee in Chief?
I have to say, good job to the MUA crisis. I was out of town, but I was in touch with people on the telephone and whatnot. The communication was good. From what I understand, everything was handled perfectly, but I was out of town. And also, it's just nice to see that the NJDOT has approved all the engineering for the Trussell Bridge. It's been a long process, and now we are moving steps forward. It's nice to see, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Dr. Nelson?
I want to say thank you to the director, executive director of the MUA, Dan Loveland. You did a great job, and thanks for getting the committee out there and your committee as well. And I want to say thank you to Public Works. They had quite a few people out there moving the water around. 2,000 cases of water is a lot of water. And it's not easy to move around. So thank you for everybody who helped on that, and gives us an opportunity to look for improvements, even though we called it a crisis. End up not being one, but take every opportunity to look for the root cause analysis and improve ourselves so that when we actually do face a real crisis, we'll be that much better at it. And so thank you again. You did a great job. And then I just want to give you an update. Duberson is tentatively planned to close on 9/18 and transfer that to the developer. So we're looking forward to actually closing that. It's been a long, 3 years? Something like that. So hopefully that will actually close, and all the red tape is out of our way, and just waiting for a chance to actually sit down and close at the table. So that's all I have.
It's nice to see that actually. I mean, I know it's been a long time, but it's nice to see it's actually going to happen. Duberson has sat there for a long time, and we've all hoped and prayed that a project like this would come along. And, you know, part of the parking lot being leased out to the school was to help make that deal happen. So it all worked out. Hopefully, you know, knock wood, the 18th we'll have a contractor or a developer in there to do something good with that. I would also like to comment and compliment on and I'm not going to call it a crisis, because a crisis is when things are out of control, and I don't think we were ever out of control. I think there was a lot of concern. We could have done a little better job of getting the word out, and we're going to work on that. We're going to work with the MUA. I can tell you, as being part of the MUA for a short period of time and being up here on the dais for about 8 years, the relationship between the MUA and the township has always been as open and free-flowing as it is now. Right after I left the MUA, it was decided to bring them in this building, and I think that's really helped with the relationship, with our ability to work together. So when I came out there on Sunday morning and saw everyone there, from the MUA employees to the executive director to the board members to Public Works, Hamilton Township Police Department, and like I said, our chief was a big part of getting that water, along with Brett Knoll. Our administrator, township committee was out there, but the biggest hero here was Pepsi Cola. So, you know, I'm a big fan of Pepsi anyway, so it was really nice of what they did, and I'm sure we're going to reach out to them and let them know that, you know, you turn a bad situation into a not so bad situation. So very good. We're going to work together to get this, you know, and it, you know, we as a township can learn something about what happened there so that we're more prepared, because that's not the only thing that can come down the road. So thank you all involved. It was a bad thing that ended up being not so bad. The other thing I'd like to say is keep your prayers. Keep the families of the people, the families from Tavistock in your prayers. And I got to say something about, I've been to, unfortunately, a couple fires in the township, and you're right, every time the firefighters are there, everyone's there, EMS, everyone is there. So the next time you get to a traffic light and you see guys and gals standing there with a boot, be generous. They do this for nothing, and they need all the help they can get. We try to give them all the help we can, and it was just nice to see them getting in there and getting out, you know, saving what they could save, because it was fully involved quickly. That's all I have. I will open it up to the public for public comment.
Good evening.
My name's Mike McCara. I was just one of the people that was affected by the water issue. I'm just a little bit confused as to, can you explain to me how the alert system works? What actually happens and who decides when an alert goes out and where it goes out? Because things break down, but I just did not get any notifications.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if that's my fault, my neighbor's fault, or whatever, but does the township have a separate alert system and MUA has a separate alert system?
Yes.
And,
The MUA is a standalone. They're not technically part of the
How
township.
does the alert system work? Who decides when to put the alert out and then how to put it out? Because I read on there, it said something went on Facebook, something went here. There wasn't, it didn't seem as if there was one way of doing it. And I'm glad everybody is talking about improving the communication because, it wasn't good. I'm sorry, it wasn't good. But my curiosity was, how is it working right now? Like if it happens again tomorrow, what is the actual process? I don't want to belabor the point, but I'm just confused as to how the system works.
Yeah.
And if also does the township, not for MUA, but for their own panic situations or whatever, do you guys have an alert system
Yes.
that gets out to everybody, and
Yes.
how does that work? I'll just sit down. And
So we're separate entities. Good to see you, Mike. Dan, if you don't mind, can you elaborate a little bit? And I don't want to speak out of turn.
So you're absolutely right. We've got a lot of room to improve on how we communicated the other day, and that's the one thing that we're going to be, well, one of the things we're going to be focused on. Also, how to never get back there again. Our alert system, we leveraged the customer information system that we have, and we used the text message connected phone numbers that we had in there, and then we went to social media, and then we went to the township. They have an alert system that we knew would reach a broader base. What we didn't have in place was our robocall system that we hadn't used in many, many years. So that's what we're going to bring back into place. We're going to figure out how to make sure that we can dovetail the two together. And that's one of the early improvements that we're going to make. So that would get to the customers that we were unable to reach directly. But the township's efforts reached out across beyond the borders of the MUA. So they helped us get the word out. But we recognize that there were some folks missed in that process. Had a lady call me today that suggested, I don't know why I didn't think of it, but using the signboard in the middle of the town would have been another opportunity for us. So we're taking all that sort of feedback, and we'll make sure we improve that way.
I believe we did do that.
Pardon me?
Wasn't that on the sign? It was on the signboard.
Yeah, we added it to our signboard on our website.
Pardon me? I understand. So in defense of the MUA, they follow DEP regulations. And DEP regulations, correct me if I'm wrong, tell them that they have to notify their customers by Facebook, website. They don't really get into anything more than that. Okay, so that, we can stand here and point fingers, or we can take this and say, let's see, we're going to go further than that. And, we can combine it with our system so it gets out to more people. We just don't know how we're going to do that yet. I think the MUA's plan is to reach out to more of their customers and get more information from them, try to build that database up. Sometimes you don't know you have a deficiency until something like this happens, and then you have a deficiency. So thank God nothing serious happened. It was inconvenience, especially to our restaurants and some of the businesses in town. So, it could have been a lot worse. The unfortunate part about what happened to the MUA, it wasn't really that bad. In my opinion, it didn't require for us to go through all this, but I'm not the DEP, so, you can take that for what it's worth. So we did learn. We learned a lot from it. And, like I said, what happened to them can happen to us. So we are looking at what we do to see if we can get. And your point is taken that if we don't sign up for it, we can't get it out to you. You follow me? So I think maybe, one of the thoughts that I had is that when we send out tax bills and stuff like that, we need to reiterate to people that you must sign up for this. The bottom line is not everybody's on the internet. Not everybody has cell phones. I mean, that more and more people do, but there's always those people out there that don't. We made an effort to make sure we got water out to those folks who couldn't get out of their homes. We did the best we could. But again, you learn a lot from this, and we're going to move forward and do the best we can with it. But thank you for your comments. I appreciate it. Anyone else from the public like to speak?
Good evening, Township Council, Committee, excuse me. My name is Dan Levine. I'm actually a resident of the city of New Brunswick, but about a few months ago, I became the owner of a beautiful 5-acre piece in the Lauraldale section of town here. And I just wanted to introduce myself and say I've really been enjoying getting to know the township these last few years. There's tons of beauty here. It's a very peaceful place. This is my first time here at the committee meeting. Thanks for having me. I bought my land for agricultural use. I'm trying to develop into a private food and flower garden. I've been working with the zoning department, navigating the recently updated tree removal ordinance, etc. It's a work in progress, as you know, especially here. Everything takes a lot of time and effort, but it's a process I'm committed with. And again, I just wanted to say hello and howdy, and thank you very much for doing what you do for the community, and God bless. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome.
Welcome to town.
Is there anyone else?
Move to closed public.
Second.
Move the closed public portion. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. We will adjourn with a motion to executive session.
Will we
A
be
motion,
coming out?
please.
So moved.
We have a
Second.
second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it.